And we're going to be back today for the sixth episode of the pod. Because we're going to be putting the 6 in the 156.
Yeah. It's kind of like that 6 in the 156, just like how last week was the 5 in the 156.
And the first one would have been the 1 in the 156.
And I mean, just like how Henry Ruggs put the 156 in the 156, you know?
Yeah, and he kind of started that 156, especially with the erratic speeding in the Corvette. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he killed a dog, huh?
I think the primary charge was gonna be vehicular manslaughter on an animal. And I think a person could have been involved. Not sure.
Oh yeah. Well, at least he's gonna be out for parole soon.
Yeah, he's eligible for parole in 2026.
2026? Oh, so that's next year. I mean,
it's only 9 years before Coleridge Stroud.
Coleridge Stroud is eligible for parole in 2035, as we touched up on our last video. Mm-hmm. But Henry Ruggs was prolific wide receiver, speedy wide receiver, on and off the field. Very quick.
And how does he compare to Rashee Rice in terms of his speed?
Faster than him.
Oh, he's quicker.
Rashee Rice was clocked in at 117 miles per hour.
It was 119, about 4.5 seconds before the accident. And just a fun fact for you, 4.51 is going to be his 40-yard dash there. So
and Henry Ruggs was about 4.29, 4.28.
Did he really run a 4.28?
Yes, he did.
He was that quick?
He's electric speed.
Yeah.
Scary speed. Dangerous speed on and off the field. You know, it's
reckless.
Reckless
the speed could be categorized as reckless.
And both cases were DUI, right?
I mean, I believe they were driving, and someone did have to end up under because of their driving. Now,
and they were both influenced.
And did that influence their off court and on the field actions? Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just a bad situation to be in. I mean, it's not a situation that you want to. It's not a desirable situation.
I mean, you gotta look at it from the perspectives,
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of perspectives. I mean, there's a lot of points of view. There's a lot of settings. There's first person, second person, third person,
and fourth person is.
Oh, it's in the works.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on fourth person.
We'll send an update out as soon as that's ready.
Yeah, we'll speak with the
committee,
the English committee of points of speaking to get that fourth person in set.
I mean, the committee has to work on it. Like me and Ryan are doing everything we can, but
I mean, we're doing everything and more in our power. Like we're just trying hard, and we're trying hard. Some people would argue we're hardly trying, but we're trying hard.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you put the trust in the committee, the election process is kind of going to be straightforward, but it takes a while, and to get that right person in charge is...
Yeah, it takes a while, and a while is taken to do this stuff, and sort of just like, that's why you got to drink Mountain Valley water,
the whole conglomerate drinks that.
Yeah, the entire English committee conglomerate of spatial audio sounds drinks Mountain Valley water, and I mean...
How about the Southern California basketball conglomerate?
Southern California basketball conglomerate?
The Compton Jokers, the Anaheim Sharks, the Van Nuys X's.
Yeah. Kind of like how Juan Cirillo and his 4 goons are kind of playing in it.
We sent some frogs after us after the last episode.
Oh, the frogs?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that's not really what we'd be going for. We want a more kind of chill vibe. But
absolutely.
Yeah, no, so guys, just as you guys know, you guys already know the drill by now. Use code 156podcast at checkout to get nothing off of your order.
There's just a slight upcharge as well.
$5 surcharge on top of that, just so we know that you're supporting the channel. And also, we did just get a Superstall store code 156, and we do get a small kickback if you guys use that.
Absolutely.
Don't use that. That's a fake code, but yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
How many bottles are left? I mean, we started at 1871. I think we're
down to 1863. Because we drank a few off camera, didn't we?
Yeah. And it's just it's gonna be sad when we get to those last
the
few
scarcity
bottles.
Is increasing, so
yeah, and
I recommend everyone get your hands on it.
It is kind of an endangered species, and we don't want to live in a world where the species is so endangered to the point
that
where
they go extinct.
It's extinct. Yeah, of course. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
You couldn't have.
Exactly.
And it could have been set or bed by myself,
And did you set in the bed?
I betted the set.
Oh, okay.
It just worked out.
When the cat put on the hat, that kind of started the whole
onomatopoeia. Oh, and he knows a lot about that.
He does. He knows quite a bit.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't call him an expert, but he's more informed than the average
he
civilian.
knows kind of like that one fish, two fish.
And does he know about the red and the blue fish?
Oh, the red and blue fish? I think he does, I think he knows about that red fish.
Because he hasn't mentioned them explicitly, but he has made some references towards them. So.
And because the Cat in the Hat just knows a lot about that.
And that's kind of going to be subjective. So
subjective, objective, condesjective.
Lakers in 5.
Super subjective.
Well, Lakers in 5.
Yeah, famous quote by the person who said
Cat in the Hat, the hat on the mat, the fat cat on the mat, Lakers in 5.
Kind of how they say green eggs and ham, Sam I am, would you go on a boat with the goats?
Lakers in 5. Absolutely.
I mean, we are talking about the Lakers. We're talking about the NBA.
For sure.
Luka Doncic, though, huh?
He's one of the players on the team.
He's one of those players on the team. And do you think that he'll score 70 this season like he has in previous seasons?
I mean, I definitely think it's possible. But just given the way that JJ Redick has kind of, organized the offense, I feel like we won't see such a high outburst.
It was easier for him to achieve this with Darvin Ham when he saved his timeouts for the evil timeout exchange committee, right?
Yeah, and the committee processed those timeouts, and I mean, Darvin Ham kind of saved a few. Now he has extra ones with the Bucks. I think he cashed in a few for a bonus on the side as well.
So. He's cashed in all of those. And actually, our former coach, Mr. Coach Dan, was...
Yeah, he was saving some.
He was saving some of his timeouts too. I mean, he was cashing them in. I think Darvin Ham gave him his plug, and he realized, why would I call timeouts if I could get bonuses?
You can save them for the next game.
You could save them for the next game, next season, get bonuses in those games, So just don't use your timeouts, guys. Drink Mountain Valley water.
And then speaking of points here, I do a bit of a game for you.
I love
Are
games.
you down for a game?
I'm up for it.
You're up for it.
And I just think that it's very interesting that if you say that you're down for something and you're up for something, it means the same thing.
I mean, absolutely here. And the name of the game today is kind of going to be least points scored, career highs by NBA players. So what I'm going to do here is kind of give you a list of names.
Yes.
And you're just going to go ahead and kind of cross those off.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
That sounds great. And this is a great game,
So we'll start here by getting this formatted quickly.
Yeah, so why don't I get the names of the players, and then we should be smooth sailing from there, huh?
So yeah, what we're gonna go ahead and do here is,
and this will be projected on the screen for you guys to see.
We're gonna have this projected on the screen.
It will be on the screen projected.
What I did just go ahead and do is I sent a message to you including all of the names of the players, so you can go ahead and read those out. So the audience knows, and then start kind of crossing them off.
So we got Bradley Beal, DeMar DeRozan, Jason Tatum, Zach LaVine, Karl Anthony Towns, John Morant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Davis, Jalen Bronson, Jimmy Butler, and De'Aaron Fox.
So, and now the point of the game here, we're going to be looking for which one of these players scored the least amount of points in their career high. So, I mean, is there anyone that stands off? That
I know for sure
right off the bat here that it won't be.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start by getting rid of some of these guys who I know have dropped 60 in a game, and I don't think that a 60-point player is gonna be the dropping the least amount of points. I'm gonna get rid of De'Aaron Fox off the bat. He did have 60 actually this season.
De'Aaron Fox 60, you're correct.
And I'm gonna take him off. Jalen Brunson, I know, had 60 in a game as well. I'm going to take him out of there.
Jalen Brunson, 61.
Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns had a 60-point game as well. He had 40 points in the first half of that game.
Karl Anthony Towns, 62.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him out of there.
Before he started shot chucking, of course, he got benched.
And then got benched because he was inefficient shot chucking. I'm going to get rid of...
We got some guys here.
Get rid of Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler at 56.
56. Am I cutting it close?
Pretty close. We do still have a couple players in that 60-point club.
Oh, we do?
We do.
Oh, I didn't even see at the top of the list. I'm going to take out Bradley Beal. I know he had 60 in a game.
Bradley Beal, 60. We got one more 60 guy.
We have one more 60 guy. Ooh, so... I'm going to take out Zach LaVine here.
You're going to take out Zach LaVine?
I am.
Okay. Take out Zach LaVine.
Is that correct?
Zach LaVine had the least amount of points.
Oh, he did?
Zach LaVine had 51.
Ooh.
And I'll go through the rest of the players.
Yeah, why don't we really quickly?
DeMar DeRozan, 52.
Mm.
Jason Tatum, 60.
Oh, Jason Tatum had 60.
Jason Tatum had 60.
Mm-hmm.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 54.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, 59.
So I actually thought that our answer here was DeMar DeRozan.
And you would have been very close here. And I mean, Zach LaVine is known as a scorer.
I thought that
someone
Zach
who has
LaVine-
prolific, kind of prolific outbursts.
He's like that prolific scoring prowess,
But I guess he just never got past those early.
He never got that past that sort of 5-1 benchmark, But
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that you left Tatum on there.
I just thought that the anomaly just wasn't up to standard of that. And I mean, I just thought that he had a kind of a lower career high. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, I can pull it up over here. I mean, we got some amazing nicknames nowadays in the NBA,
And I'm surprised about the Glock as well. He only had 52. You would have thought he had more, especially with all the shooting he does on and off the
Oh,
court.
yeah, of course, yeah. And, I mean, John Morant is just one of those prolific players, great player, very athletic, but he is kind of acting like a hoodlum recently.
Yeah.
And he's got to get his act together.
I mean, the court kind of did force him to get his act together after he was accused of punching a 17-year-old, at a pickup basketball game.
And pulling guns on people, pulling it on Instagram Live.
I think at one point he did show 2 guns in one frame.
Ridiculous. So I'm just going to read off some of these nicknames and you tell me which ones you like the most.
Yeah.
How about Cam the Eye Test Thomas? You like that?
That's going to be Cam Thomas. I do like it. He passes the eye test. Although he is an inefficient shot chucker by definition.
So how about Paolo the Punisher Banchero?
Yeah, Paolo's a stud. Paolo's been playing very well this season.
He's a very good player. Better than LeBron James.
This season, absolutely.
Better than LeBron James.
Absolutely. Paolo Banchero's been having a career year. He's been averaging about 26, 27 points with a solid 6 rebounds,
Great
5
player.
assists.
Great player.
For sure.
So how about Carl the Catalyst Anthony Towns? And Catalyst is spelled K-A-T instead of C.
I mean, besides the inefficient shot chucking in close games, I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
Phenomenal.
To definitely transform that Knicks team.
Yes, definitely transformed it. And now we're looking at number 8, Bradley the Embezzler Beal. I think this is referencing his steal of a contract that he had when he just embezzled money into his bank account.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it embezzlement. Now, of course, stealing $50 million from an organization usually doesn't go unnoticed, but when you're putting up 14 points per game, it kind of does get noticed.
And kind of in the words of Floyd Mayweather, undefeated boxer, it kind of is that, when it comes to legalized bank robbery, I'm the best.
Yeah. And I don't know how legal it is because, you
the contract was signed.
I mean, the contract was signed, but if a person like Bradley Beal,
Bradley Beal. Not Bradley Beal. A person like
Bradley Beal,
not
Bradley
Bradley
Beal.
Beal, though.
You'd have to imagine they're committing some other types of crimes, on the side here. So that's where kind of is the contract legal? Yes, but
it brings light to other issues.
Is the drug dealing, manslaughter, vehicular assault, carjacking,
evading an officer
with reckless driving? Is that going to be legal? Maybe not. There's a gray line.
Grand Theft Auto, there's a fine line in the sand.
It's dotted.
There's fine line in the sand, and he's just going over that. He's got to be, just so you audience can see, he's got to be somewhere here, and he's way up here. That's got to end. That's just got to stop. Yeah. So why don't we move on with Anthony, the poster child Edwards?
I mean, yeah, Anthony Edwards has been phenomenal. Definitely stepped his game up from last season.
Great player. Great player.
I mean, I do think he's going to be one of those superstars.
Yeah. And now we'll move on to the next nickname, Jaren the Alliteration Jackson Jr.
And for all of you guys who didn't pass 7th grade English.
7th grade? I think it was 5th grade.
5th grade English. Yeah. Alliteration is when a letter repeats, multiple times at the start of words. So it would kind of be like Bob, black,
built, bombs,
blankets, that kind of be alliteration there. So Jaren Jackson Jr.,
it's gonna be like that alliteration type of thing, Mm-hmm. And then when we move to that number 5 spot, we see Shai the Grandmaster Gilgeous-Alexander.
And I don't get where that comes from. Probably because he's really good at baiting fouls.
And this is going to be kind of like that sort of chess thing. I think he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Yeah. And it kind of does go after the sequence takes, queen e2, check, knight e4. Sort of like
but
that.
The king sidesteps, though. And the position gets a bit trappy for
It does get trappy, yeah. And that is going to come after the Spanish game, double Spanish game. And all of this is theory, you know.
And speaking of the Spanish game, Roy Lopez signed a contract.
Roy Lopez, actually, why don't we pull that up, huh? We'll get this on the screen for you guys as well. But Roy Lopez, if we can just find it. Yes, right here. Lions to sign Roy Lopez. Fornals Cardinal nose tackle agrees to a 1-year, $465 million deal.
Per $465 million.
$465 million. Yeah, they really want that. They really want
if they want to play the Spanish that bad, I mean, we could let them.
If they really want Roy Lopez, they could go on a goddamn chessboard and play the Roy Lopez.
Now, $465 million for a chess
$465 million for a chess opening is kind of ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure that they do get the rights and they reserve the rights without the express written by the NBA consent.
The rights have been reserved?
Yeah.
The rights have the reservation?
Yeah, they have the reservation.
And do the Native Americans have the reservation?
And Big Mike, huh?
Not performing.
Not performing at all. He's got to get out that door. I mean,
he could go out that way as well.
He's got to get out of here, man. Big Mike is just not performing.
Absolutely.
So we were talking about reservations.
Yeah, we were kind of like mentioning those Indian reservations.
Those Native American reservations. Yeah. And Andrew Jackson did make these reservations.
Well, are you referring to the Trail of Tears?
I am referring to the Trail of Tears.
And initially they were reserved for the...
but they were late to the reservation.
Yeah, it kind of seemed those reservations have been getting revoked.
And the table got taken by someone who arrived there and was waiting. And they did have a 15-minute grace period. They did not make it in time. So I mean, it's just going to be like, we gave you a 15-minute grace period. We gave you that time to kind of like, you had your time to slip up.
The time's up.
But the time is up, yeah. You ran out of time, and we were generous.
We can't hold the table forever.
And Grace gave you a period.
For sure.
Grace gave you a period of time where you could be late, but you just completely ignored that.
And Grace is a phenomenal scheduler at her scheduling
Great
department.
scheduler.
But when some people just tend to like kind of disregard, her giving us periods, that's kind of when we have to take back the reservations.
And Grace is just like
for industrial machinery and whatnot.
Grace is a great person. And yeah, so why don't we just move on to our next one? Chris Paul, the party pooper.
The party pooper.
I think this is referencing to when him and Steve Kerr were having kind of like a laugh.
And
he was kind of going like... He kind of did that whole like, it's Juja.
Yeah, and then he kind of just stopped laughing.
He turned around and just no emotion on the face. It was ridiculous. So now, actually, this is interesting. This is a player that we've talked about, or a theory that we've talked about multiple times on the pod. We're looking at Santi, the trolley problem, Aldama.
Oh. I think this is because...
I think because he solved the problem.
Yeah, but it's also due to, for those of you that don't know, in his home country at 12, he was actually part of the trolley problem.
Yeah, he was one of those people tied down to the tracks that couldn't move because they were tied down to the problem,
And the kind person actually, instead of flicking the lever, he added a third track that had double the amount of people tied down.
Just to kill all of them.
Yeah, meaning that it's more economical to kill them than to kill Santi and the rest of the people.
And the dog is walking onto the table right now.
The dog walks.
The dog walks.
He's one of those walkers.
Walks on 4 legs, presumably.
Yes. Right now he's on 2, but you never know.
Well, now why don't we look to our last 2? We got Bam, the onomatopoeia Adebayo, and kind of like in that same 5th grade English class that many of you guys may not have graduated. And onomatopoeia is any sound effect, really. Kind of like a pow, boom, pop, bam, in this sense, where Bam Adebayo comes in. And at our number 1 spot, the hardest nickname, in my opinion, Grady the Erection Dick.
And is that one self-explanatory?
Hard. It's a hard nickname.
It's pretty hard.
Hard nickname. And, for some of you guys who are kind of unemployed may not understand the references that we're making right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of like those people who are on a payroll, kind of making money, they would understand these references.
And it's going to be the people that more, have jobs, have commitments, have responsibilities, as opposed to
people who are burning their money on leisure items,
such as matcha, community goods,
shopping,
Soul Cycle,
extremely expensive gym memberships that they go to once a week to talk to their friends at, other things like that. And that just brings me to kind of like this fun game. I mean, you wanted to play a game earlier. I'll play a game right now.
You want to play a game?
We can play a game, yes. So we're going to put this on the screen for you guys as well.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. So you're going to have $15 to spend on the perfect unemployed day.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. So with our first category, you got $15. Our first category, so where you get matcha, okay? So you wake up, you got to get matcha if you're unemployed. I mean, it's kind of like one of those like intangibles.
It's kind of the gateway to being unemployed.
He's like that poster child of unemployedness.
Yeah.
So for $1, we have a ready-made package of matcha that you just dump in some water.
Okay.
$2, we have Starbucks coffee or Starbucks matcha.
Okay.
$3, we have Fairgrounds matcha. That's
Okay.
a little local shop over here.
Yeah.
$4, we have La La Land.
Okay.
And at $5, we have Community Goods, Juju.
Community goods. And which of the 3 locations are we referencing? We're referencing Edinburgh, Other Edinburgh, or Design Center?
Other Edinburgh.
Well, that's the new one.
Yes, it is the new one. I wanted to give the new one some light.
You want to give him like a run for his money?
Just like shout him out, kickstart him, kick back, kickstart, kick.
So given that I have 15 to spend, the packet one, it has microplastics, all wrapped up into it. So,
horrible.
So we're not gonna be doing that. Starbucks matcha, it's mid. It's bad.
Not good.
It's processed.
Horrible.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Fairgrounds is pretty good. It's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I'd put it in probably my top 12, top 13 places. It's good.
Oh yeah.
But I think Lawin at 4 is extreme value.
You're gonna take La La Land.
I do think Community Goods is severely overrated. Some of the locations won't substitute for less ice. The ones that do inform me that you're going to be getting less drink as well.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take La La Land.
I am gonna take La La Land.
Okay, so that leaves you with $11. To go to our next topic, we're gonna look at lunch spots. So at $1, you can starve. No lunch.
That's what most of the unemployed homeless people do.
Homeless, but not. We're not looking.
Most of the homeless are unemployed.
Yeah, give or take. So at number 2, we're gonna be looking at Bristol Farms Hot Bar.
Very solid.
Number 3, at $3, we're gonna be looking at Kazunori.
$4,
we have Croft Alley, and for $5 we have Erewhon.
Now I do love an unemployed day, but I may save some of that money for the next game, and kind of just go with Kazunori at $3.
Kazunori for $3.
Because Erewhon, I just don't think it's sustainable. Given that we're unemployed, it costs money. It's very expensive to be unemployed. And
very expensive.
The fact that you're unemployed means that you're not making money. So I don't know if we can afford
you got things coming out, but you don't got anything coming in. So
exactly.
So you're gonna take Kazunori at $3?
Absolutely.
So that leaves you at $8 spent, or $7 spent, actually $8 to spend. So now we have our third category, the gym/exercise. At $1, you can go to LA Fitness. $2, you can aimlessly walk around Melrose.
Okay.
$3, you have a Pilates class.
$4,
we have a Soul Cycle class. And at
class.
$5, we have an Equinox membership.
Ooh. A membership or a guest pass?
Membership.
Membership.
Both LA Fitness and Equinox are memberships.
And which Equinox location are we referencing here?
We're referencing the Beverly Hills location.
Oh, okay. So LA Fitness definitely not going to be a go.
I didn't expect you to take that one.
Absolutely not. Walking around Melrose, it's part of the experience of being unemployed.
Yeah.
But is that really how you want to get your steps in? I think for $5 we're gonna splurge here.
Oh.
I'm gonna go take that Equinox Beverly Hills.
$5 you're gonna take Equinox Beverly Hills. So now that leaves you with $3 going to your last category, shopping. So I'll just read you all the options and save the $3 option to the end. So at $1 we have Goodwill.
Goodwill?
Yes, Goodwill.
How good is Will?
Will's doing good. I mean, that's.
I mean, if he's doing well, he can't complain.
Yeah. So I mean, so at $2 we have cherry. For $4 we have aloe.
Aloe.
$5 we have Lululemon.
What's gonna be for $3?
And at $3, what your option is going to be, we have Mad Happy.
Ooh, Mad Happy. Yeah, no, Mad Happy is it's one of those places. And,
it's one of those places.
And back when I was unemployed, the reason I love going there is they do have a bit of a pantry in the back.
Ooh.
And the matcha there is pretty.
And do they sell those $18 strawberries still?
I think it's near 20.
Oh, near
and
20.
It's covered in the matcha, I believe, as well.
Oh yeah.
I haven't got a chance to try it, but for $3, I think I have to take Mad Happy. I mean, my
So-
other option would be, going to Goodwill and saving $2 for the next challenge, but I'm not Coach Dan, so
Yeah,
we'll go Mad Happy.
and I mean that was a good draft by you.
Thank you.
I think that you spent your $15 pretty wisely.
I spent it all.
I mean it was all spent.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the thing with these games. You have to spend all your money.
You do.
And I mean,
do you have to, or can you save it for the next game?
you can save it for the next game, or you can tip. You can always tip.
We can give it to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour myself a little bit more.
And usually the tip options at these types of places, there'd be 85%, 90%.
Or 200%.
200-300%. So that's when I matcha. It's $6-7. I usually like to give a $15 to $20 tip.
Great idea. I mean, you got to support the small local business.
Yeah, support the small
Just like how
businesses.
you guys have to support us by using code 156 at checkout to spend $5 more on your Mountain Valley. And I mean, there's been so many Mountain Valley sites since we've gotten them as a sponsor of our channel.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like our publicity...
I feel like our publicity has definitely helped it a lot. I mean, there's so many people now on the streets drinking Mountain Valley water. And it's a revolution. And you know what's interesting? Actually, very interesting. I haven't seen a bottle of boxed water.
You mean a box?
A box of boxed water. I have not seen a box of boxed water since we had our whole kind of spiel about it.
Yeah, the spiel.
Yeah, the spiel. But we're very glad to see no boxed water in the streets because, I mean, they say they're better.
They're not better.
Disclaimer, they're not better.
No, I did have a question for you.
I mean, I do have an answer for you.
Now, so which business is smaller? A small business,
Okay.
meaning a business with up to 3 locations locally that combined has less than 30 employees,
Mm-hmm.
or a larger corporation ran by little people.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I can break it. I can break it down.
It's ran by a little amount of people, or it's ran by little people.
So the definition of a little person is when a man is under, I think it's 4'8", and a woman is under at least 4'5". So all of the employees are gonna be fitting in that category there.
I see.
Which business is smaller? I mean, they're both small. They're both tiny.
Miniature. I'm gonna go with the second option.
Oh, so you think the corporation ran by little people is a smaller business?
Yeah, it's gonna be a smaller business because I mean the people are inherently smaller, so the business is gonna be kind of smaller. I mean, the scale of the business is gonna be bigger.
It's a larger scale
because they have more people or
more locations, more
revenue, more
cash flow,
more
higher IQR.
More people working. Now, is there more people by volume, by mass? Maybe not.
I mean, probably not.
Maybe not, but there's more people working.
Now, what happens if the small businesses just only hire little people?
Oh, so then they become midget businesses.
No, it'd just be a small business.
It would be the smallest business, microscopic business.
I mean, microscopic. I mean, the workers aren't gonna be that small. They'll be about 3'8". So, I mean,
about yay high.
They'd be about the height of a small poodle. So.
Yeah. So give or take, probably 5 apples tall.
And if we're gonna be measuring in horses, about 1 or 2 hands tall.
Yeah.
Horses are measured in hands.
And if we're gonna be measuring in weight, probably like a 20th of an elephant.
Oh, so how many football fields long? Or better yet, how many Olympic swimming pools?
How many Olympic swimming pools? A good amount. A lot of Olympic swimming pools. It's going to be like 8 Olympic swimming pools long.
That's a lot of football fields.
Yeah, it's a lot of football fields. And I mean, they're playing rugby on these fields, right?
I believe they do. I believe they share the field.
Oh, they share the field. They kind of do share that field with soccer, or some people say football. And, interesting, huh? One word. I think one word explanation would just be interesting.
It would be.
Yeah,
and that'd be one word to explain it.
And I mean, we could kind of see that sort of like stay in your own lane, do your own thing, but they're all in each other's lane. I think they're all sharing a car with each other. They are kind of in that.
Oh, so are they carpooling?
I think they're in that farthest left carpool lane.
Yeah, in the carpool lane.
And
the carpool lane's a hoax. You can be in the carpool lane with one passenger.
Oh yeah, and no one's gonna give you a ticket for that.
Absolutely.
No one's gonna ding you for that.
For sure.
Unless your name is Henry Ruggs.
But the speed's a bit of a factor.
The speed is kind of like that X factor,
I mean, the X doesn't have factors besides one in itself.
So it's kind of gonna be like a prime number.
Yeah, it's gonna be a prime number, but I mean, X factorial is X to the X, which is undefined. Does that kind of make sense?
Well, I mean, if we solve for X after.
But what if we can't solve for X? Because what if it's a system of equations in which X equals Y plus Z? And Z equals X divided by Y. Does that mean that Y is equal to X?
I mean, it would equal that X is equal to X.
But it's undefined. You can't define it.
There's no definition?
No.
If we check the Webster dictionary right now, there would be no definition?
The Webster dictionary? Possibly. Merriam-Webster? For sure not.
And what about that urban dictionary?
It depends. I mean, we're kind of more of in a suburban area, so I don't know if urban comes into play.
Oh, it's like that sort of suburban area.
Yeah, for sure.
Suburban. Oh, like bourbon. Bourbon. Don't drink bourbon. Very bad for you. I think it was said that Henry Ruggs and Rashi Rice were both drunk off of bourbon. Drink Mountain Valley water. Make sure that you guys use our code at checkout for no % off and $5 surcharge.
Just a slight upcharge.
Just had to plug real quick.
For sure.
We're just trying to help out the community.
The community?
The community.
Oh, look, the LGBTQ. LeBron gives back to the community.
Oh, yeah.
The community.
Kind of like how LeBron made that sort of school. Like
the I Promise school.
I Promise school.
Their test scores have been astounding.
Back in Akron, Ohio. Yeah. Incredible test scores. They have 8th graders passing at an average of 3rd grade reading and math levels.
No, they were failing in 3rd grade.
Failing in 3rd grade.
And, I mean, so the good news is they're not the worst performing school in Ohio. They're the second worst. So out of about 4,133 schools, they're only the second worst.
Only? I mean, it could be worse. You could be the worst school.
And I believe the average, is a fun fact here, I believe the average I Promise student in 5th grade is 98% illiterate. Just a fun fact. They can't read.
2% of the time they can.
No, it's 2% of the words.
So they can read the W, but they can't read the O or the S.
Exactly. So whenever the teachers are kind of trying to communicate, they just spell it out.
Oh.
Like for recess, so kids don't get excited. They go REC.
Oh.
ESES.
Oh. So yeah. I mean, it's gonna be kind of like that.
Yeah.
Sort of like whole thing, and that's why LeBron was the best player in 2000.
And LeBron has also pledged to pay for the college tuition of every I Promise school student.
What a great promise.
However,
none of them have been to college.
The downside of that, since
none of them
the
have made
school's
it to
introduction in, I believe it was 2015, 2016?
I believe so, around that.
So since around then, not one student, has passed, first of all, not one student has passed the state's 8th grade exit exam. And second of all, none of them have been admitted to any universities, meaning that LeBron is essentially paying for community college. Which isn't that expensive, about $60 per student.
I don't think LeBron's paying for it.
You don't think so?
No. Kind of how he said, famously, it's our ball, ain't it?
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
And what does our ball mean in Spanish?
Our ball? So the kind of like the aribos are gonna be like the trees.
The trees.
But it's just gonna be like kind of one.
And are you bilingual?
Trilingual.
Quadriceps?
No, I'm trilingual.
You're not quadlingual?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
So you mysteriously lost a touch of Russian?
Yeah, I mean, over time, I kind of grew out of it. I realized like I'm not fit for this. This isn't my thing.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't my like lingo. This isn't my
It's
cup.
not.
It's not my cup of tea.
It's not a cup
per
of tea.
se.
So it's not going to be like an Earl Grey or a chamomile?
No. It's going to be kind of more like that English breakfast, but, you know, it's...
I mean, you can't go wrong with...
Lipton iced tea, you know, just...
No, Lipton is solid.
Lipton is iced tea, and Kermit the Frog drinks it.
Oh, does Kermit the Frog?
Kermit the Frog drinks it. What a great frog.
Kermit's a good frog.
One of the best frogs.
I wouldn't say one of the best, just given that there's a lot of frogs.
I mean, there's a lot of frogs.
Torello's 4 frogs.
Oh yeah. I mean, and we touched up on that earlier, but I mean, great frog, all-star. You know, he's just an incredible frog, and I mean, he is doing well with Miss Piggy nowadays.
Oh, he is.
Great to see them great together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't hate on a guy like Kermit.
So I mean, Kermit is kind of in that NFL too now.
Yeah, well,
in the face
of
Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, and I mean, you know, it's just gonna be that kind of like
you really can't hate on a guy like Kermit when you have someone like Kermit on the sidelines there.
He elevates the entire team. You know, he elevates everyone around him. He makes everyone around him better.
He does,
and he just makes the entire team around him better. And it's sort of kind of how
so kind of like elevating.
Yeah,
does he elevate?
Yeah, it's sort of kind of how like Juju makes everyone around him happier. You know,
he elevates.
Kermit makes everyone froggier around him. You know, it's gonna be kind of like that elevation type of thing.
Yeah, Kermit's a good frog, and Juju is currently elevating, as you guys can see. He just elevated.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on the table. Right here so he can sit down. I don't think he's in frame right now, but he is going to be in my frame of vision. Juju is a great dog, great person, great dog, actually.
He's been doing good things in that Petco league.
Good things, great things, yeah. And I think he's in the Hall of Fame, actually. I think they have his picture on the wall.
They actually do a picture of him. He has a certificate.
They have his picture on the wall. That's great, and that's great to hear. And I'm glad that we can hear. I'm glad we have ears. I'm glad. And I mean, as they do say, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah, and also 2 nostrils.
2 eyes.
But the 2 eyes, you know, because some people have 4 eyes.
Oh.
They make fun of the people wearing glasses.
Oh, are we referencing a certain someone like yourself?
I mean, no.
I mean, you do have 4 eyes.
Yeah, and that's kind of rude. I'm going to expect an apology from that.
Oh, you're not going to get one.
I'm not going to get
Too
one.
bad, so sad.
I'm not going to get an apology. That was rude and disrespectful.
No cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
I guess you're right. I think it goes no butts, no cuts, no coconuts. But
I think it goes no cuts, no butts.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah. You're just being a good boy right now.
He's just
And for those of you guys that don't know, Juju in Spanish means dog, so that's why he was named such.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
and how long ago did you get him?
Did I get him?
Yeah, like how recently did you acquire him?
8 years ago.
Oh, 8 years?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Oh, wow.
And he's been a good boy all those years.
Oh, he's been a good boy?
He's been a better boy recently.
Yeah.
He's always been a good boy, though.
He's always been a good boy, yeah.
You know, he's always a good dog, very nourished. And I mean, sort of like those kind of like malnourished dogs. Not good, not a good look. Not a good sight. No.
And those were the dogs that Vic used to, you know, have running around there.
Yeah, and that's where Michael Vick, famous for hosting dog fights.
I mean, he was famous for football as well.
More famous for dog fights. He did get into some legal trouble. Not as much legal trouble as a guy like last name Ruggs, first name Henry, or a guy like Coleridge Bernard Stroud first.
They call him senior.
Yeah, but you know, who cares? Who cares?
I mean, the dogs care. The animal control certainly cares.
And I mean, like, you know, they ask him what the dog doing. I'll tell him that the dog's doing good. Just make sure my dog ain't around Vic.
I mean, but they were saying that Vic's a phenomenal owner. I saw him at the park with a couple Labradors recently.
Oh, did they have leashes?
No, they were on leash.
Oh, because I saw Mr. Vic with a few dogs with electric leashes around their neck and was electrocuting them at every turn.
Oh, I mean,
which
God forbid, man.
God forbid, yeah, and it's kind of like how like if you crash the tower into the plane.
God forbid, man. Don't say that, man.
I should stop saying this.
You should.
I should. And I mean, yeah. I mean,
you think it's gonna conclude the episode?
It's gonna conclude it. Yeah.
The episode's concluded.
The episode is concluded, and we're glad that you guys can make it and allow us to make the 6th episode already of our podcast. And just make sure use code
156 at checkout with Mountain Valley. You're gonna be getting a slight upcharge there, supporting the channel, and it's phenomenal water. Just keep in mind, there's only going to be about 1863 bottles left, so try to get yours soon, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See you guys.